What's up, guys? HotDogWater here with Hispanic Jesus, and we used to be Arkies Gaming, and now we're not. What are we now, Joseph?
We kind of had like a mid-YouTube life crisis,
Yes, correct.
so we have transformed ourselves to become the PolitiGamers. So, do you want me to go into a little bit more detail about that?
Yes, talk to them about what the heck PolitiGamer means.
So basically, what it comes down to is we're just nerds who enjoy playing video games, but we gotta have a side job going on, and we enjoy talking about politics. We are actively engaged in political events at our school, and we're just all around, I'd say, pretty informed people when it comes to politics, and we just really enjoy talking about that stuff. And we want to bring that content to the gaming world, get gaming involved, I guess, to more a political friendly environment.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, we just like to enforce our beliefs upon innocent viewers,
Yeah, we like
and
to
if they don't
people.
change their minds to believe what we believe, then we you know, kill them. Oh, that too. Oh. I thought we were talking about what PolitiGamers were all about.
Oh, okay. People are gonna think we're messed up now. Alright, so yeah, basically, we're just gonna if you don't agree with us, I mean, at least we can come down to at the end of the day and be like, alright, we both enjoy video games. Let's
Exactly.
something about that.
We want to bridge the gap through video games. And first of all, so we want to talk about how we are going to be very civil and ethical in our discussions, and till you hear me yelling, then all bets are off, and I'll probably call you a fat pig and stupid head, and really mean words will come out of my mouth, let me tell you. But I don't often do that because I'm able to be measured and, like I said, civil. And so we'd like you guys to, if you want to comment, because we would love for you guys to comment, share your beliefs, share your views on what we're talking about, but do it civilly.
Yes.
And
Keep it
yeah,
in a civil way, I guess. Keep it to where it's an actual discussion, not just being insulting to other people.
and if we give some false facts or we say something wrong, correct us, but don't do it douchily.
Please call us out on it. Just don't be pretentious.
Unless you're talking to Hispanic Jesus. Yeah, sorry, Joseph, that was wrong, you son of a bitch. That's
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. You can do that. That's alright.
But you gotta. But if you're like, HotDogWater, how dare you? Then that's too far. That's too far.
Yeah,
No, don't correct me. But yeah, so we are gonna open with some Lou Dobbs. Everyone know who Lou Dobbs is? Joseph doesn't know who Lou Dobbs is.
I found out like 20 minutes ago.
Lou Dobbs.
We haven't told it what the topic of the video is.
Oh my God, you're right. We're just gonna talk about Trump's first 100 days, basically, and this is actually gonna get into this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start playing it for you guys now.
Frustrating. I know you have actually called for the speaker to step down.
Absolutely.
And you're one of the few. What's so frustrating is the opportunity that's presented to the country before us to really institute change. You know, been going over in this program. I won't put up the list tonight, but all the accomplishments of the president, keeping his promise, checking off his list. He's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But he's done a really good job.
Well,
of
he's
keeping
pretty
his
close to
promises.
perfect, Sean.
Pretty
I mean,
close.
I'm
Everything
serious.
he can
This
do on
guy,
his own, he's doing.
he's worked his tail off, still is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, taking care of national defense, national security, and all the challenges that aren't on the Trump agenda. I mean, it's truly remarkable what he's doing, and the credit that he is not receiving for what he's done. But you know, I think he's in a good place, and I'm inferring from watching him just in the last few days. He's not.
All right, that's enough. So you heard Hannity there, and Hannity says, I don't know that he's perfect. Nobody's perfect, which I agree with. Nobody's perfect. But he says, I mean, I gotta work it again and again until I get it right. But he says that Donald Trump has gone through his checklist. He's checking his list. He's checking it twice, and he's done a good job of checking off what he said he was going to do. And so basically we're here to prove that wrong, aren't we, Joseph?
I don't know where he's getting his information from.
And so Lou Dobbs says, oh yeah, he's pretty close to perfect. I think perfect. And you know, if you kind of like tone out the gargling noises going on in the background, then you can you can focus on what he's actually saying. When I say gargling, I mean it sounds like he's sucking on Trump's penis. You know what they say about people with small hands. Okay, so here's some more Lou Dobbs, though. This was actually the same night, I'm pretty sure. It was like the 98th day of Trump's presidency. Lou Dobbs was killing it last night. And if we're talking about killing it, I am talking about my brain cells. So, here we go.
President Trump's successes, however, are
Unmatched in recent presidential history. I don't have any numbers to back that up yet, but I do severely doubt it. The only thing that I could say that you could argue on Trump's side is, yeah, he passed a lot more executive orders than like Obama. I think we decided the number was 28 or 27 more executive orders, but you got to remember all the harassment that always came whenever Obama tried to pass an executive order. I can still pull up archives of political cartoons calling him a dictator and things for passing executive orders, which is pretty discouraging. But now, whenever Trump's doing it, it's encouraged and it's celebrated by Lou Dobbs. So it's just something to think about. Really, it kind of highlights the polarity in our country.
Yeah, it really does. It's gotten to the point where you put blinders on when it comes to seeking information, and you just ignore the facts, I guess. And I'm guilty of doing the same thing at times. Like, nobody's perfect. But yeah, it's very concerning that Lou Dobbs has these opinions.
Well, yeah, you say it's concerning that he has these opinions. It's not concern. His opinions are fine. It's the fact that he's trying to.
Like his information.
His information is wrong. Not even wrong, but the way he's portraying his information to other people is not the correct way to do it. And like you said about the political blinders, I mean, I do that. I found myself doing the same thing. But I try to keep a very open mind, and especially once this war on media started, if I saw an article by anyone, CNN, I usually don't look at Fox News, Huffington Post, The Economist, anywhere. If I saw one article, I would read it and I'd get whatever bias was there, but I'd make sure that was 100% correct and go to look at other articles. And what you really find out is that, especially with those major sites like Fox and CNN, they kind of warp it.
Yeah.
Usually don't even get the same numbers, which is concerning. But you get the truth when you do like that, like I do. So now we're gonna get back to this clip because I want to hear Lou Dobbs say this thing about, yeah.
nominee to the Supreme Court, Justice Neil Gorsuch, took his place on the High Court on day 81, the first justice to take his seat on the High Court in the president's first 100 days since 1881, 136 years ago.
That's impressive. Neil Gorsuch, the first justice to take his seat on the High Court within the first 100 days since 1881. You know how many years ago that is, Joseph? Lou Dobbs does. It's 126 years ago. And that's cool. I mean, it's a cool thing, and I don't want to bash every little thing and like just congratulate Trump. No, yeah, it's not that impressive, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, give us our ball back. Sorry, that was a meme that I just quoted, but I don't want to bash him on every single thing. But like, this is just not an impressive thing. It's just coincidence. Congratulations. The other chick died. Like, the last time it happened was when we had Madison versus, was it Madison Madbury? I feel as if it was.
Can't tell you right.
I can't. I'm not good with my Supreme Court cases. But that was when we got That was when the first thing happened, when there was a lame duck president who tried to appoint a Supreme Court justice, and they were like, nope, that's for the oncoming president to do. And that's what, like, that is true. Was pretty much the unanimous decision there. It's like, okay, well, that's how it's gonna work then. And there's a term for it, I know there is, but I can't think of it right now. So it's not that impressive of a thing. It's just a coincidence that the chick died, or is it a coincidence? Dun dun dun. Okay, now
You're first guy.
that's correct. But that gets us so that's gonna get us started with the first 100 days, and I kind of want to talk about Neil Gorsuch for a second. I really don't have that big of a problem with the guy. I really respect the way that he holds his opinions, and I respect a lot of lawyers and judges because of the way they're so civil about it and they're so legal about it. It's great. The one thing that I don't like is Gorsuch is anti-euthanasia, and I am pro-euthanasia. I think that the young children in Asia should be able to. Oh, that's not how that's spelled. No one laughed at my joke. Insert cricket noises. Just kidding though. So he's anti-euthanasia, and I'm pro-euthanasia for reasons we can discuss later, but he is actually unclear on his abortion laws, but everyone thinks that since he's like a classic conservative that he is probably gonna, if the time comes to where they have to, completely just forget about everything that happened in that case back in 56 or whatever, then he'll probably be like, yeah, sure, let's forget about it. But he's also said things like, no, I respect the past decisions of the Supreme Court. He's just real confusing, but we'll see. So, let's run through a couple of things. I got about 6 things here we'll discuss that Trump promised, and when he made these promises, it was the Gettysburg Address. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, Joseph. It was the Gettysburg Address. He was like, this is what I'm going to do in my first 100 days, and we're going to talk about what he did, what he didn't do, what he didn't try to do, what he did try to do and failed, all that good stuff. So, the building of the Keystone XL pipeline.
Well, strong opinion of this.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, we have to be fair about this. He succeeded completely.
He succeeded, yes.
He kept his promise. Great job. I applaud him. But, terrible decision in my opinion. I feel like it was a waste of a promise to be kept. Like, it was awful thing. Just ethically terrible action to take. It's harmful to the environment. It's putting private interests ahead of Native Americans.
Ahead of our people.
Yes.
You can't even, like, it's not even fair to, well, it's fair to say Native Americans, but it's like not even fair to just say Native Americans. These are American citizens. The original American citizens. So.
On the website, it even boasts. It just completely boasts about the Dakota Access Pipeline and how 3.8 billion, 1,100 mile pipeline designed to carry 500,000 barrels per day of crude oil. That's what it's meant to do. It's about oil, and this is just me branching off to another part. And the world is not going to be dependent on oil forever. We are going greener by the decade. It is going so fast. I think I saw a statistic one time that there are actually more jobs in cleaner energy solutions than there are in present day fossil fuels. And I just don't. This entire decision that he made, I just don't agree with it.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. So I actually have a nice quote. This irked me back in, like, what was it, February 7th or something like that. So Donald Trump, when asked about, after he approved it, when asked about it, he says, I'm reading this verbatim, usually if I do something, it's like bedlam. I'm sorry, I don't get that. Right? I haven't had one call from anybody. And so he went on. He said, I haven't one call complaining about anyone. And I looked into this at the time, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to be a smart ass, and I'm going to be the first one to call. And so when I called, I'm actually really nervous because I'm about to call the White House right now, and we'll see if they actually answered this time. Then it's going to be very sad. But we're gonna call them and see if it's still how it was.
Are we calling them?
Thank you for calling the White House comment line. The office is closed. Your comment is important to the president. Please call back between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay, it does work now. I think maybe. But when I tried to call it, after this happened, and it was like, we're sorry, but the comment line is currently down. Please send us an email. And I thought it was just ironic and funny. So moving on though.
I'm guessing you got that call.
Yeah, I think someone finally was like, hey buddy, why do you have the White House comment line shut down? Sir, no one can critique you. And it looks pretty suspicious. But so Keystone XL pipeline, bad. And that was one of the things he promised to do and succeeded in doing. I'll be politically correct here. Republicans. He attempted to ban travelers from Muslim majority countries. His Muslim ban.
If you want to go there, yes, you can just outright call that a Muslim ban. In my opinion, I can call that freely a Muslim ban, because there is actually clauses in there that prioritize Christians from these nations entering the country.
Yes.
You're just placing a priority on a religion, and you're just excluding an entire other religion.
And it's kind of wrong.
Yeah, like I understand that it's not banning all Muslims, but it's specifically targeting Muslims in these nations.
And it's not even. And someone sent me a link the other day, a Wikipedia link, so I didn't look too far into it. Showed it's the terror index, and I couldn't find any information on how they actually got the terror index. It was just the terror index, and it had a couple of numbers, and it said that this is what they go by, and it had a couple of the countries at the top. But what alarms me is that, like, when you look at the American deaths, and like that's it, American deaths by people in these countries, there are 0 in any of the countries that he banned. And this has been a while since this was actually a hot topic, but still, there weren't any American deaths in any of these countries. But like the Muslim majority countries that he left out that are a severe threat, like Saudi Arabia is a big one. I wanted to say Yemen, but I'm not sure if that was one. United Arab Emirates as well. They have like they've killed thousands of Americans. But they're not banned, and it's also coincidental that the other countries don't have any Trump business holdings. But the ones that have killed Americans and aren't on the ban list do have Trump business holdings, and it's kind of astounding and sad.
It's I think that clearly just points to outside influences on Trump's decision.
I think so as well.
I don't see how you can defend Trump at that point and say that he didn't act in private interest.
He did.
It's
just
but like he promised that he would carry out this ban, albeit it didn't last long. It lasted a little bit, I guess, but he did.
But he's still complaining about it, and it's still getting shut down in the courts.
It's getting shut down. But like in the campaign, did he actually say Muslim ban? Like, did he say the words Muslim ban?
Yes, several times.
He said that several times. But if you're going to attack us and say this isn't a Muslim ban,
that was the promise. And then you can get a quote from one of his buddies that says, he was a lawyer, and he said, Donald Trump came to me and said, hey, I want this to work. How can I make it? How can I make it sound better? And the guy was like, well, don't call it a Muslim ban. And so it's just,
I think it's just it's illogical to call out people who call this a Muslim ban, and then say that he succeeded, and then you're saying it's not a Muslim.
Yeah, I'll play a clip unless someone doesn't believe it.
He failed completely.
I'll play the clip when he said Donald J. Trump is calling for a ban.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Okay, there it is. I mean, he called for a ban on all Muslims entering the country. But he called for a ban on all Muslims entering the country. That's a Muslim ban during his campaign. But he tried that and succeeded pretty far, I think. Too far. No, we can talk about his approval rating within his first 100 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get... it's not very important, I guess. I think NAFTA and the TPP are more important, though. So, like, Donald Trump used to talk about how he wants to renegotiate or withdraw from NAFTA, which is the North American Free Trade Agreement. But I don't...
At the campaign trail?
Yes. And I don't think that he has the power to do that, to be honest with you. He would have had the power to do that, because now he's turned around and been like, yeah, this is going to happen. And also, just the other day, after his first 100 days and I collected all this information, he said, okay, yeah, I'm going to renegotiate. I'm going to fix this. I've accepted calls from the leaders of Canada and Mexico, and we're going to fix this. And so I think that is a positive move. So,
yes.
As well as his actions in the Trans-Pacific Partnership were also positive. The Trans-Pacific Partnership was a bunch of countries that all had a trade agreement and made up 40% of the world's trade. That is a lot of trade, people. 40%. But a lot of people were against it, left and right. It wasn't a good thing. It pulled jobs out of the United States and gave away money to big business.
The United States was very manufacturing based.
Yes. And this was Obama was still supporting it last year. Remember that? And it was a free giveaway to big business, the freaking lottery. And a lot of people. There's a quote that says by some famous dude that said, "The TPP is a symbol of failed globalism and the loss of U.S. jobs," and it is.
Yeah.
We're losing lots of U.S. jobs. So, we're gonna end on a nice economics note. Joseph wants to get us started and talk about that. I'll put in some little graphics that Joseph shared with me, but it's about the unemployment rate. So, Joseph, go.
Currently, Fox News actually got a lot of heat for this graphic. They actually aired this graphic, and they tweeted it out, and it shows the unemployment rate within 100 days of the presidencies. And it displays Donald Trump at 4.5%, Obama at 9%, George Bush at 4.4%, and Bill Clinton at 7.1%. So one would deduce, I guess, the unemployment rate's a lot better under Republican presidents. But if you just analyze this further, you realize it's just about the unemployment rate that these presidents inherited.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, there's not a single piece of legislation that I think a president can pass in 100 days that can significantly affect the unemployment rate.
No, it cannot significantly affect the economy, which we'll also talk about. But like, I'll pull up that graphic and then another one, and this one shows the unemployment rates from January 2008 to April 2017. And you look, because this is all of Obama's presidency, he inherited nothing very good. But he made the most of it, and Obama got it down. And so if you look at 2016, January is 4.9, and then all the way through it lowers down, and in December it's at 4.7. This is Obama's presidency, guys. And the year before that, you can even look at it, it was in the 5s. And the year before that, it was in the 6s. The year before that was in the 7s. And then you have 8s and 9s because, recession. But at the end of Obama's presidency, he had it down to 4.7%. And it was on a steady slope downwards. And so now when you look at Donald Trump, of course it's going to show a low percentage because that was Obama's work. So it's kind of wrong. He hasn't taken credit for it, I don't think. Maybe he has, but it's wrong to try to give him credit for that because there's really nothing he has done to affect that.
It's right wing. It's a right wing ploy for propaganda.
It's a propaganda ploy. So, yep. So also we have these statistics from the White House website that says in just the first. You guys can read this yourselves, but fine. It's in just the first full month of President Trump's administration, the U.S. economy has already made promising strides in the job market. Pause right there, because like we just said, he hasn't passed anything that has severely affected the economy, and you cannot. Economists know that economics takes time. Things don't happen in a month. So it says that 235,000 new jobs have been created. 58,000 construction jobs, 28,000 manufacturing jobs. We could fact check this all. It would take time. All we're trying to prove here is that like this stuff is pretty BSy. That it's.
We're not saying that Trump hasn't kept his promise, but we're also saying like there isn't proof that he has kept it. It's too early to call it this promise. I don't see a way you can say that he kept his promise of improving the economy.
Nope. It says that the employment rate fell to 4.7%. Hey, it was at 4.6% in November and 4.7% in December. So, yeah.
It's after effects of the preceding presidencies.
Exactly. Like when you do a little. I was gonna say it's like the ripple effect, but that's not true.
Hey, wake up.
And so yeah. I mean that's about all we have for you guys today. We think we got a lot done.
Overall, I'd say Trump. He hasn't kept a lot of his promises.
No, it's been.
He's had a shaky 100 days.
And not even that he hasn't really kept them. It's not even that he really hasn't kept them. He hasn't succeeded in any of them. Whether he hasn't tried, has failed, has backed down. It just.
He's ignored a lot of his comments. But all the whole thing about putting Hillary Clinton in jail. Where did that go?
I don't know. It disappeared.
Well, want everyone to voice their opinions in the comments. If
Yes.
you disagree with us,
Civilly.
please tell us. We'd like to talk about this stuff. Maybe we can make a video out of like responding to these comments.
Maybe, like we said, we're starting this channel back up. We really want you guys to get involved. We want to get involved with you guys. We want to make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Tell us how you feel. But yeah, we hope that you got entertained, you learned something. Maybe you're screaming at us because those dadgum liberals, Trump, Donald Trump. So yeah, but tell us how you feel. Leave us a little review. We really hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll have to see you guys next time. So until next time, see ya.